Right, this is just a very quick tutorial on how we use GIMP to add a reflection effect to any graphic that we're working on. You might want to use an image, or you might want to use, say, another vector package like Illustrator or Inkscape, and bring that graphic in after you've done it in order to add a reflection finish to it, so it looks a little bit more 3D and it increases the quality of the presentation. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, if I'm ever going to do anything like that, is just go open up GIMP. This is the Mac version of GIMP, but the GIMP 2.8 is actually available on PCs as well. Pretty similar format and interface, so everything that I do here you'll be able to pretty much find on a PC as well. Right, so if I go to File and New, I'm just very quickly, I've already got it set up, I'm just going to create a 1200 by 900 pixel graphic, and I'm going to hit OK. Now that's black at the moment, so what I'm actually just going to do is very quickly paint bucket the background to white so that we can see what we're doing. Right, so I've got my white background and I now need to have a graphic to work on. So very quickly what I'm going to do is just go to File, and rather than Open, I'm just going to bring it directly into the canvas. I'm going to go to Open as Layers. Now I've created a sort of very kind of quirky resemblance of an iPhone design, which I've called iPhone, and I'm just going to bring it in and hit Open. Select it there in the window and just hit Open. Right, and there it is. Now it's a fairly massive graphic at the moment, so I just want to bring it down a little bit so we get the full, we can see a smaller version of it, so we can get the full effect of what a reflection can look like. So I'm just going to go up here and hit the scale tool and select, make sure the layer is obviously, it should automatically be selected in your layers box, and then just hit select. Now naturally that's gone pretty massive, so don't be too concerned about that. I'm very quickly just going to lock the scaling so it doesn't get warped, and I'm going to bring it down to 200 in width, and I'm then going to bring it to 100, I'm going to 300 in height. So hopefully, as long as that doesn't just fly off the page, just start again. I'll do that one more time. It's gone quite large, it's 600 by 1000. I'm just very quickly going to lock that down. I'm going to go 300 by 463, so I think that's automatically scaled, and I'm going to then hit scale there to get it ready. So there we go, there's my size down graphic, and I'm now just going to add the reflection effect to it. The first thing I do is I go to my layers panel and I hit right click and hit duplicate layer. Now that will then have created a copy. If you can see there, it's a .png copy, and if you just want to see that it's definitely there, just hit down on your keyboard and that should bring the graphic down to see that you've got one behind it. Now obviously a reflection is naturally going to be an inverted version of it, so I'm just going to go make sure that that layer is selected, go to Layer, Transform and Flip Vertically. So that's now put that upside down, and I'm just going to push downwards, or what I can do is just drag it, making sure that it's still in line with the top iPhone, and just position it correctly. So now I've got the start of a reflection. Now naturally, all reflections you can't see the entire thing unless it's unless it's at a certain angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop that down and get most of it rid. So I'm just going to hit delete, and now I've got only part of the bottom layer. Now this is where we start laying over the reflection effect. So I'm just going to go to make sure that the copy version is selected in my layer box, and go to Layer, Transparency and Alpha to Selection. Now what that's going to do is just select the entire layer. So now that I know that's selected, any effect that I apply to it is going to affect just that selected piece. So now for the reflection effect, I'm just going to go up here and hit this tool, which is called the blend tool. So if I collect that, and on a Mac you are then presented with 3 different tabs. It's this third tab here which opens the gradient dialog box, and what you're looking to try and select is the foreground to transparency. So just make sure that the foreground is white, because if it is black or any other colour, the foreground will go from black to transparent. So just make sure that it's white, and then all you're going to do, because obviously the transparency is going to be at the bottom here so you can still see part of the phone moving and fading into white, is I'm going to start at the bottom and pull up, and as you can see, once I go back to my marquee tool and just click off, that sort of reflection effect is started to work now. I can still see a straight line which doesn't look particularly realistic, so I can always go edit and undo select. So now I've got that marquee, go back to the gradient and just tweak it, maybe start a little bit further above it, and yeah, I've gone a little bit too far up, so if I start just a little bit above the line and pull upwards, and there we go. I've now got that sort of reflection. Just to finish everything off and make it look neat and tidy, is I'm just going to go to the My layer that I've been working on, right click and merge it down onto the original iPhone, so it means now that wherever I move it, that reflection is going to follow it. Just hit the background to give you an indication of what it looks like. There is an iPhone now with a very nice reflection to it.